After unloading its final cargo at Ningbo port, the American container ship Manukai received China's first friendly reminder, a notice to pay special port fees totaling approximately 4.46 million yuan. In mid-October at Ningbo port, the American container ship Manukai had just finished unloading its final cargo. Before it could catch its breath, it received a special notice, a bill for special port fees. The total came to 4.46 million yuan, equivalent to approximately $630,000. Don't assume this was a spur-of-the-moment decision. Every figure here is calculated with precision. The Manukai is no ordinary vessel, it belongs to Matson Navigation. Founded in 1882, this company has operated across the Pacific for over a century and knows the China-U.S. shipping routes inside out. This time it stumbled over the net tonnage requirement. The ship's net tonnage is 11,149 tons. Under China's new regulations effective October 14, U.S.-owned or U.S.-built vessels must pay a fee of 400 yuan per net ton. Multiplying and adding, the 4.46 million yuan fee was calculated. The subsequent reaction was even more dramatic. Within just 2 hours of the announcement, global shipping companies scrambled into hide-and-seek mode, seemingly desperate to avoid something. Hapag-Lloyd's Potomac Express bypassed Ningbo for Busan. Maersk cancelled calls at Ningbo and Shanghai, with its Pacific vessel Maersk Glenos even diverting mid-voyage to South Korea's Gwangyang port. Matson's Matson Waikiki, failing to depart before the new regulations took effect, now faces a $1.7 million penalty, a heavy burden for the shipowner that has left them in a real bind. Some may wonder, why did China suddenly start imposing this fee? While the question seems straightforward, it likely stems from complex considerations worthy of deeper examination. In truth, this move was not unexpected. Since April this year, the Office of the United States Trade Representative USTR initiated its Section 301 investigation. By October, it escalated further by imposing additional port service fees on Chinese vessels entering U.S. territorial waters. This tactic aims to use high fees as bait to lure supply chains back to the U.S., pursuing ulterior motives. China's move is, in essence, a reciprocal response, and it has laid out the rules clearly. Many view this as a tit-for-tat countermeasure, but in my opinion, China's $4.46 million fee is more effective than any verbal protest because it addresses 3 key points without resorting to empty threats. First, precision trumps forcefulness. China avoided a blanket approach, leaving loopholes in the new regulations, specifically exempting vessels built in China and those arriving empty for repairs. This layered pressure is far more sophisticated than indiscriminate confrontation, maintaining the bottom line without closing all avenues. Second, the fee's impact lies not in the present but in the future. While 400 yuan per net ton may seem modest now, the new regulations explicitly state, the fee will rise to 640 yuan next April and reach 1,120 yuan by 2028. Let's crunch the numbers. By 2028, a single port call for a 30,000-ton dry bulk carrier could cost over $10 million. Shipping companies operate businesses, not political campaigns. When the books can no longer bear the burden, they will inevitably pivot, either by changing flags, renegotiating contracts, or abandoning certain routes altogether. The U.S. aims to repatriate supply chains through tariff hikes, yet this approach first pushes its own shipping companies to the brink. This contradiction will inevitably erupt. Third, rerouting solves nothing, it only causes costs to snowball. Currently, many vessels are rerouting to South Korea before transferring cargo to smaller ships bound for China. While touted as supply chain optimization, this is merely a stopgap measure to evade risks. Each additional handover introduces extra delays and damage risks. Insurance companies, wary of liability, will inevitably raise premiums. Ultimately, these costs will be passed on to shippers and consumers. Supply chains aren't slogans, they're the time it takes for a single container to arrive and the cost of every transaction. A one-day delay could mean store shelves go empty, cash flow tightens. These incremental losses are far more crippling than a single $4.46 million fee. Put simply, China's friendly reminder is fundamentally about letting the rules speak. When the U.S. puts fees on the table, China responds with clearer rules. No arguments, no finger-pointing, just a straightforward accounting of voyages, tonnage, and rates. Shipowners privately call this payment the Trump tax. This isn't China's label, it's the pain they've endured themselves. Those who feel the sting know it best. The 4.46 million yuan paid by the Manukai is not a fine, but rather a yardstick. It not only marks the boundaries of the rules but also sets the bottom line for costs. Moving forward, more U.S. vessels will face a choice: grit their teeth and pay increasingly higher fees, opt for Chinese-made vessels, or simply adjust their routes.